This may just be the perfect Ram 3500 to buy, and we're going to talk about why. So the Ram in the heavy duty segment has kind of been getting hated on lately about how it's overly priced, it's, you know, X, Y, and Z, out of date, etc., etc. It may not be as fancy as some of the others for sure, but I do think there's kind of a sweet spot for these trucks. And I wanted to talk a little bit about why. To start things off, this is a 2024 Ram 3500, like I said. It's the Bighorn. It's got the Night Edition package. It's a high output, short bed, single rear, which is a little bit of a harder configuration to find. I've never understood why. I think this makes sense for a lot of people. I am also a huge fan of the Night Edition that Ram does, just how detailed it is and everything. Everything from these rear lights, the wheels, all the badges, and most kind of famously, I would say, the front grille, but even including the interior light housing of these trucks. I'm not personally the biggest fan of the styling on the new mirrors, but the functionality of them is absolutely incredible. All the features they have, the lights on the front and back, extending mirrors, you can you can move the lower glass via power as well as the upper glass, power folding, etc., etc. This truck doesn't have all the fancy adaptive cruise control and everything, but it's still got your 12-inch screen for your wireless Apple CarPlay, regular cruise, gear limit, blah, 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 all the kind of normal stuff. These cabs haven't been updated in quite a while in terms of any size or anything, so it is a little bit smaller than some of the things you would find from some of the other manufacturers. This one has the fifth wheel prep group. What makes this truck stand out so much more than the 3/4 is the payload. As you can see, this one has 3794, almost 4,000 pounds of payload in a single rear pickup truck is pretty incredible. Compare that to most of your 2500s and it's not even a contest. So as you can see, like I was saying, I don't have all the fancy, there's no heads-up display, there's no adaptive cruise control, there's none of some of that stuff. No giant screen right here, it doesn't drive itself, blah, 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 blah. But why do I think that's honestly might be the way to go with these modern trucks is honestly because most of the problems that I see with trucks being here working at the dealership is with all the fancy electronics, gizmos, gadgets, rather it be from, the brand of your choosing. I work at a truck center, so all we do is trucks. And 9 times out of 10, all the bogus that happens is with electronics and fancy and this and blah, blah, blah. So while you could say it might be kind of a downside that it doesn't have some of those things, to like me personally, it's not really. The other big thing I hear is that these still, quote unquote, only have a 6-speed transmission, whereas the others have a 10. Yeah, but if you're familiar with the way Cummins and everything works, I mean, you definitely could maybe use an extra gear or two, but it's still fine either way, man. These trucks have stupid power compared to anything back in the day. The other reason I kind of like that is we all talk about how fondly we remember our older trucks. I had a 06 Duramax or my 04 59 or my second gen or whatever, right? These trucks still feel kind of raw. There's still some sound. They still shift a little bit harder. There's still some of that stuff where you don't really get that with anything else. And as you diesel boys know, the exhaust brake on these Cummins trucks is absolutely incredible. So like I said, Ram's kind of been getting hated on for some of their heavy duty stuff in comparison, but really the truck still holds up okay for what it is, in terms of features, capabilities, blah, 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 blah. And what I mean by that is I know if you're a Duramax guy, Power Strokes, Cummins, whatever, right? But just in terms of sheer capabilities, by the numbers, these trucks still hang in there more than acceptably with everything else. They're definitely not, on paper some of the later and greater stuff, but Ram's never really done that either, and they've never had a problem like they are right now. So that's what, like I say, ultimately begs the question to me, what is the actual problem? So I did a little digging. I built kind of the 3 main ones. They all actually come out really similarly priced for similar features. Base price Silverado 55. By the time you add, X, Y, and Z goodies, you're at $70,470. On the Ram, similar features, similar spec, $69,050. Now I know those are net prices and they take a few manufacturer incentives into account, blah, blah, blah. Ford, I actually didn't really put hardly any features on the Ford. I'll show you some of that, just basically the Power Stroke and some other stuff, standard output, but it came out to, $68,125. So it's not really, it's not like one has the other just absolutely demolished on price or anything like that. So the big question really is that, in my comments, I always get people saying, oh, the new trucks are junk, those 10 speeds are terrible, blah, 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 all the technology. Well, this truck doesn't really have any of that new stuff that everyone's complaining about, yet nobody is buying it. So again, that just makes me ask, this is the most similar truck to what we're all used to and what we all brag about from back in the day, but nobody's buying it. So does that mean that everyone's buying the trucks with the latest and greatest stuff and just, keyboard warrioring about how the new ones are terrible or whatever? Because it's not like there's a massive price difference. So if you wanted to be the guy saying I'm not buying a truck with less features, for the same money, you can't then turn around and be the guy who says, well, I just want a truck like the old ones, blah, 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 because that is exactly what this truck is. So again, this conversation isn't really for the guys that say don't like Ram, never have, never will, never wanted a Cummins, never bought a Cummins. I don't need to know why you aren't buying one now. Just because you don't like them, that's fine. Everybody has their personal preference. My question is more, the Cummins historically has always been, very popular, very good reputation. It's still that way from the people I talk to. Like I say, this one, the high output with the Ison, still has a pretty good reputation overall, but people just aren't really buying them. And I know the easy answer is that it's because of price, but like I say, the other trucks are selling and they're the same price. Let's see if we can get a little exhaust brake action. Hopefully you can hear that, I don't know. I think the real reason they're not selling is because the guys that actually bought a Cummins a few years ago have such a reliable truck, they don't need one, unlike you Power Stroke and Duramax fellas. Nah, that's just joking around, having some fun, but in all reality, I do wonder, right? Because these trucks are still kind of the raw form of what everyone says they like, but apparently people don't like that. So my big ultimate question, what does Ram need to do to get really back in the game? Is it a new transmission, something like an 8-speed, overhaul the motor, new body style? Let me know what you guys think. Because like I say, there's still a lot of people out there that love the Cummins. I talk to them on pretty much a daily basis, but for some reason, these trucks just ain't the move lately. I really do think something like a body style refresh, something like a different cab, 8-speed transmission, something that people can kind of cling to is really going to bring these trucks back to life. Like I've been sitting over here clamoring saying that once people actually get a hold of some of these new Hurricanes, they're going to turn out to be really solid, assuming that they're reliable and everything. Obviously, I don't own one. I can't speak for that 100%, but the way they drive and the way they feel so good, I think people are going to like it. So maybe that's what Ram needs to do, is put together, get with ZF like the rumors and put together that 8-speed tranny, get these things back cooking and rolling, because, like I say, those Cummins motor is such a desirable piece of history overall. People have really gravitated towards it for a lot of particular, kinds of, uses and everything. It was always popular with fleets, hot shots, etc., etc., and now it's really slowing down. And like I say, for apples to apples, you're really close in terms of competitive pricing and everything between really, the big major three. So I know that price is the easy answer that everyone's leaning to just for all generic answers when it regards new trucks. But like I say, Ram's getting its butt kicked in terms of overall sales right now, and the prices are actually very competitive. So like I say, guys, I know it's kind of a short video, just touching on some brief topics, more just to get a discussion going. But drop a comment below, leave a like, let me know what you think. Why are the Rams having a hard time selling right now when some of the others are doing pretty well? Let me know why you think that might be. Let me know what you think it is. What do you think would solve the problem? But anyways, guys, that's going to pretty much do it. So drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know if I'm right, wrong, crazy, whatever you think. Let me know. I'm happy to hear about it, and we'll talk. Thanks. Bye.